Preparing for a new world. At this school, they start young. First graders learn Mandarin as a compulsory part of their curriculum, a recognition of China's growing stature.
Initially, the school was established to teach the children of Chinese families. But I think now the whole world situation has changed, and we now recognize the critical value in our children learning Mandarin.
It's not only the language, but Chinese values are also inculcated in the teaching. Further away, outside the city of Cape Town, lies another testament that China has arrived. Hisense, an electronics company, set up shop in Atlantis 2 years ago. In this factory, they produce mainly television sets and refrigerators. They produce on average 3 per minute. Some of the parts are imported, but for the fridges, it's a production from the ground up. Now, the coming of Hisense to Atlantis has been important because for the longest time, manufacturing was in serious decline and many of these workers were without a job. Now they are back on the factory floor and acquiring new skills. Over 90% of the workforce is made up of locals. It's not charity, it's business. More Chinese companies are moving away from their motherland because production costs and wages are going up.
With the local factory, I think it makes us more stable, more better control our cost as well. You know, our factory was established in Atlantis, which the unemployment rate is more than 55%, and we are committed to create more than 500 employment or job opportunities for the locals. Currently, we export to more than 10 countries, which most covered the Southern Africa, including Zambia, Mozambique, Malawi.
Getting local industry up and running is said to be an important part of China's new approach to Africa. State-owned companies have mostly led the way. However, Hisense is an indication that private companies won't be left behind.
There's 90-odd Chinese state-owned companies which would be on the Fortune 500 list. Roughly 2/3 of these companies are present and active in Africa as contractors on the back of this sovereign wealth thrust, if you will. I think the real opportunity going forward is going to see private Chinese companies seeing the real investment opportunity coming into our continent. What started as sovereign wealth being deployed into the continent is starting to shift now towards industrialization.
China has often been accused of valuing profits above peace. And so there have been calls for Chinese leaders to use their economic clout to speak up against human rights abuses in Africa. Generally, silence has been the response. However, last year, China increased its development aid budget by nearly $12 billion. That may be a sign that China is ready to use soft power. The effects of that are seen as African children play and sing in Mandarin.